Hi everyone, and we're now joined by Dave Beck from Paverson Games. Hi Dave.
Hey.
Welcome to UKGE.
Thank you. It's crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it? Just out of interest, how does this compare to like Origins or Gen Con?
Yeah, it's funny you ask. So I've been to Origins, I've been to Gen Con. This is definitely, at least compared to the last couple of years, this is definitely bigger than Origins. And I feel like this is feels about the same size as Gen Con was last year.
Okay.
So I feel like it's getting big. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but it really seems like this is going to continue to be a bigger and bigger expo every year.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I've been coming here 7 or 8 years. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
Picked a great year to come.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So let's talk about why you're here. First off, you've brought Distilled with you.
Yep.
How's the reception been for that? I mean, I know you've had great reviews and everything. So
thanks. Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. I'll just say I've been saying this to a couple of the people all this entire expo. I wish I had a bigger booth. There's so much excitement around it, and so many people want to see it. People want to play it. We're booked out 24 hours in advance as far as people wanting to get even just a short demo. So it's been really fun. It's been really great, and it just gets me excited about the future of Distilled and Paverson Games, especially here in the UK too.
What is the plans for the future of Distilled? Have you got more expansions lined up?
Yeah. So as designer of the game, owner of the company, another person that's really key to this entire project is Richard Woods. He's been the developer for Distilled, but he also is going to be, or has designed the first expansion that we're going to be releasing in probably the next 6 months. We're calling it the Cask Strength expansion.
Okay.
It's a 55 card tuck box deck that essentially fans of Distilled can buy and insert into their game, essentially replacing cards. It's going to tick the BGG strategy level up from a 3 to about a 3.25.
Okay.
It's going to give it a little bit more crunch, a little bit more decision space, and it'll have some new upgrades and some other new fun stuff, but also a dynamic market where things are going to be shifting and changing. You can look to the future and decide when do you want to sell certain spirits, certain regions, certain bottles, when do you want to buy certain things. So we're really excited about that.
Wow, okay. That's just going to add so much more to a game that already has a lot to it. It's just amazing.
I always joke about the fact that, and maybe it's just because I just got so excited about it, but I gave about 150% of a game into a box.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things where with Kickstarter, you get excited about the backers and the community. You want to give them those things. You want to provide that for them. So I'm just so excited to continue to do that with Distilled.
Yeah. Let's move on then to your next game.
Yeah.
This is obviously a prototype or a development version here. What can you tell us about Luthier? Yeah,
so Luthier is going to be the next game, full game that we release from Paverson Games. And yes, it is 100% prototype. And why I say that is because the art and graphic design is at 0% right now. But the gameplay is pretty far along. I'd say we're at around 85-90% developed. We really wanted to bring this to UK Games Expo because we felt it's important for a company to show the process behind how we develop a game, as opposed to just, hey, we're going to wait until it's completely done and here it is.
Yeah.
We can get feedback from the community. We've been doing play tests with people and getting feedback from them. This game is all about crafting musical instruments in the golden age of classical music. So you are a luthier, which essentially, for those that don't know, a luthier is someone who creates musical instruments, usually in the stringed instrument family, and repairs them as well, like violins and cellos and bass. This game, you do a lot more. Pianofortes, harps, flutes, oboes. The idea is, in the golden age of classical music, from Baroque through Romantic, it's all historically accurate. You are going to be creating these types of instruments for patrons. That might be someone like Beethoven, that might be a king or a queen or a noble or a performer. You're going to be in your shop crafting these instruments and then placing them into a group orchestra in the middle of the table. But the key behind this, and the thing that we're really excited about, is the main mechanic in the game, which is hidden bidding worker placement. So essentially what you have is you have workers for the worker placement that are not little pawns or meeples, but instead discs. And on the bottom of each disc is a number, 1 through 5. 5 is you, the master luthier in your workshop, the most skill. 1 is maybe the kid, your own kid that started yesterday, right? Well, the idea is that I'm going to go out into the community, onto the board, and select certain actions to do, but other people can take their workers and place them on top of mine. So we could stack up multiple workers at one location. When we get to the resolution phase and resolve that location, we're going to flip those chips over and we're going to look at those numbers. Whoever's there first gets the first pick of what they want to do there.
Right.
Except when the number 5 is further back, they get to butt to the head of the line. So it's the idea of prioritizing where do you want to place across the 7 different locations your best workers or perhaps your least skilled workers.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about it, heavily thematic, again, just like Distilled, really trying to focus on an era that is focused on history, but then also the fine art of music and craftsmanship. And then lastly, I guess I'll say that the thing we're probably most excited about right now is that we've just announced that Vincent Dutrait will be the artist for the entire game. So portraits of Beethoven, drawings of musical instruments. The board itself will be a giant kind of dollhouse landscape of placing. So we're really thrilled about the future of Paverson Games and also Luthier.
What's the player count on this?
Right now it's 4. So we're looking at 4. We're really wanting to make sure we invest in having a really nice system for a solo and 2-player game as well. But we think 4 is the sweet spot right now for player interaction.
Yeah, okay. And the plans to bring this to Kickstarter?
So we are planning to take it to Kickstarter, hopefully May or June of next year.
Okay.
We really want to do it right this time, just like last time with Distilled, where we brought everything we could to the Kickstarter. We want to have this close to being finished by the time the Kickstarter rolls around, so that we can then turn around and start fulfilling the backers as soon as possible afterwards.
And that'll be just in time for UK Games Expo next year.
Exactly.
Well, Dave, if people want to find out more about all of your games and you, where should they go?
Yeah, so they can probably just search Paverson Games, paversongames.com. They'll find everything. Join the mailing list, then they'll get all the updates. They can also just find latest blog posts and news items as well.
That's great. Well, thank you very much, Dave, and we're so glad you decided to come to UKGE this year. It's been great having you here. So, I hope the jet lag hasn't eaten you too hard.
Yeah, I hope so too, especially on the way back. It's usually even worse.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Thanks.
So, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.